right, my name is Rio, and I'll be teaching CIT95 Python Introduction to Programming at Fresno City College 100% online. Now, as you can see by looking at the screen, I have several other courses that I have already released. And how can you tell that? Well, this course, which is the course you're taking, is unpublished. And the reason that I've not published it yet, and yet in this point in time, is Tuesday before the start of the spring semester. The reason I hadn't done this particular class is at this point before now, the enrollments quite weren't at the place that they allow us to say, yeah, we think this is going to make. But the good news is that we have now crossed that threshold, and you are not 100% guaranteed, but there's a good chance this class is going to make. Now, having said that, if you know anyone that is interested in taking Python, because it is a great time to take Python. Python is growing in popularity each year. We see more and more CS classes. Now, this is not a CS class. This is a class CIT in the business education. But what I've noticed is more and more CS majors come over to take this class because they know and hear and understand the importance of Python. But regardless of the reason that you're here, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. And what I'd like to say is just a few words to get you kind of on the right foot for this class and to understand some concepts and more around the course materials, because I've worked really hard to decrease the amount of cost and increase the quality of course materials. So imagine, right? We're trying to decrease cost, increase quality. And I feel like I've done that through the use of Udemy courses. So I taught Python for the first time last semester. Now, I've been teaching programming, JavaScript, machine learning, Node.js for a while, but it was really fun to teach Python and I really enjoyed it. And I ended up using a course based on an ebook that has somewhat become kind of a standard use for learning Python. But I'll be honest with you, after my last semester experience, about 3/4 of the way through this course, we're going to stop using it and we'll start using some YouTube videos that I found. But the good news is, hopefully this thing will not be very expensive. I'll show you how to get the lowest cost on it. And so you can get started in a good way. Okay, so that's what I'm going to cover real quick. There is a start here when you get into the video. When you get into the course, you're going to want to check that out. I have the video you're going to watch for week 1 and some of week 2 is video I recorded last semester. Each week I'll do an attendance video, probably starting in week 2. That'll be for this particular semester. But just know that sometimes you may see stuff from a previous semester. And I try to note whenever it is. Sometimes students tell me they know by my hairstyle which semester it is. So anyway, funny joke. Okay, so looking at the course here, I'm going to go ahead at this moment and publish it. Now, again, all that means that actually it should have. Let's see if I refresh it, it comes in here. Yeah, it just took it a second. Okay, so in here in Canvas, in our course, when you come in, right, you come into the home, which is really the modules, right? So you can get started that way. And you'll do the week 0. Again, I'm starting this a little ahead of the semester, but you may see this at the start. And I did update the Discord for this semester because I did make some changes to Discord. So I hope you all consider joining. It is a great way to connect with myself and other classmates and other students that have taken this in prior semester. But that's not what I'm here to show you. I think this content stands on its own. Like I said, this first week is really all about setting up your local dev environment and really important content to the part of we finished doing a code along in this week. So it's going to feel like if you have not had, let me just say this, if you have not had any GitHub I've had students take this class and not have any experience with command line or GitHub, but they got through it the first week. And this is why I like opening a little bit early to give you that chance to jump ahead. So here's what I'm here to show you. I'm going to go into syllabus and I'm going to scroll down. Takes a second here. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Ooh, I do need to change my office hours. They are a little different this semester. I do hold them all in Zoom. But really what I'm here to show you is this, is that the required materials is a Udemy course based on an website or also an ebook. So the good news is that automate the boring stuff on Udemy. Let me just click here first, right? Now, if you do not have a Udemy account, now it's interesting at this point it's showing as $9.99, which is awesome. Only 2 days left of that price. So you may like, oh, but the key is if you don't have a Udemy account, go ahead and create one. You'll see that price. Okay, so that's first, is create the Udemy, because without, and actually it's not showing me as logged in, so this must just be the standard price for the next 2 days. But again, I'm recording this on Tuesday, January 5th. And even if you come in later, let me show you the way you can get the discount. Is if you go to automate the boring stuff, which is something I'm going to really try to use more of this semester. We've been focusing more on the Udemy course. But as you scroll through, you see a couple things, is that he does give you the first 15 videos up on YouTube, which is great. Oh, I'm sorry, first 15, of 50 videos. But if you keep scrolling down, you'll see him talk about the Udemy course. And when I say him, it's Al Swaggart. And then if you scroll down, you see this link right here, this link to a 70% discount. So this is really what you could use to get this course cheaper, okay? So that's really the main thing I wanted to talk about today. The rest of it was just to kind of help you understand, right, the course structure. And the last thing I will say before I let you go and you can get started. Now, that's the other thing, is because I'm releasing this early, you're not required to work on anything before the start of the semester. If you have, as I'll repeat, little or no experience in the command line or in Git or GitHub, I think it's worth looking at that first week to get a little head start on that. But the way this course is set up, and I'm going to do something, I'm going to view it the way you view it, is you have to move through I reinforce what's called sequential movement in the course. And really what this means is you can't do week 1 until you've finished week 0. And week 0 is basically giving you an overview. You have to set up your GitHub username, give it to me here, view this, contribute to the who's in the house, who's this, and then you can start looking at week 1. So you only have a few things you have to do there, but you will see this structure throughout the course. You need to work through it in sequence. I do enforce that concept, so please follow it. If you have any questions, reach out. Again, Discord is a great way, but if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't want to set up your account, you can still email me directly. There will be times that I may say, hey, consider getting on Discord. And here's the reason, honestly, is that oftentimes your questions will help other students, not only because they can see my answers, but because it'll help them feel more comfortable asking questions in this kind of open system of Discord. Now, when I say open, the way I've set it up, it's actually not completely open, meaning only the people in this course, in this section, in this semester can see each other's questions. But there are the places to ask questions outside of that closed system where I have students that have taken my classes before. Anyway, glad you're here. Thanks so much for taking this course. I appreciate it. I know you have choices. Hopefully you will enjoy. My goal is that you really enjoy the course, that you get a lot from it. I do ask a bit from students, meaning you're going to actually have to create something 3 times in this semester. We'll learn more about that as we move into the course. But for today, have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon.